What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show Live. Can you believe it? Time is flying when we're having fun within this industry. And I've got one of my good friends, somebody that I have so much admiration and respect for because he's been in this, he's a veteran of our industry, but he has so much knowledge. He has so many things that he's going to share. And right now, more than ever, you have to be in the right mindset. You have to be looking for opportunities that can help you thrive within our current mortgage market. And Evan Michelstone, CEO of Champions Funding, is going to have a discussion with all of us today, be sharing some of the things that you need to know that is going to help you, executable items that you are absolutely going to be able to dominate with. So ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and again, welcome to the Shred Show Live. As I mentioned, I am so excited to be hanging out with Evan this morning, CEO of Champions Funding. Evan is one of those guys that we were joking just before, great minds think alike, and Evan's mind is much greater than mine. But when anytime you have an opportunity to have somebody like Evan share his wisdom, share his knowledge of this incredible industry that we're in, it's just so impactful for each and every one of us. And the conversation we're going to be having today is just that. Evan, good morning and welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you?
Good, Josh. Good to see you. How are you, buddy?
Dude, I am doing awesome. How about yourself? How are things?
Things are good. Things are good. Things are we're making progress every day, and I think that's the key.
You know what? That is really interesting that you even start that. Progress is essential to everything we do in this industry. And again, you are a true veteran of the mortgage industry. You've made it your passion. You've made it your career. You have impacted the lives of so many people, consumers, along with professionals within our industry. And it's just so much fun. But it's fun that you even we have to continue to evolve. We have to continue from when you started in this industry. You've seen a little bit of change throughout the years, and now more than ever with all that's going on. And I want to have that. Before we do, though, something that Champions continues to advocate for, continues to really try to drive home. And I see this in the discussions you're having, in the marketing you guys are putting out, just in the general, all that you guys continue to focus on is the non-QM space. And it's almost like it's still not there. People are like, okay, I get it. I've heard it's a buzzword, but there's so much opportunity within that space, Evan, that it blows my mind that people are kind of brushing it off like it's not. But why the focus? Why the emphasis from the Champions team on the non-QM market right now?
Sure. Well, I mean, for us in particular, as a U.S. Treasury CDFI certified loan fund, our primary focus is serving cohorts of borrowers that have traditionally been overlooked, underserved, however you want to term it. And so generally speaking, non-QM is now the moniker that's used to describe the products that best suit those borrowers. But really, when you take a step back and you think about originators in today's environment, I think that there's been a little bit of atrophy, so to speak, over the last couple of years where, when rates were, I saw some rates that were below 2% at one point on 30-year fixed, just insane, right? So there were refis that were coming out of people's ears in 20 and 21. And so there really wasn't any focus on any products that were kind of out of the box, so to speak. Everyone was just picking up the easy refis. And now I think we can all agree that's not the market that we're in. We may never, frankly, see a market like we saw for those 2 years. And so where are you going to look next? How are you going to win in a marketplace that is obviously more challenging and the origination pie has shrunk? And so we believe that the non-QM model is more sustainable. While admittedly, volumes have come down a bit for non-QM, not nearly as sharply as, say, the agency conforming market. And so we like the space. It's our mandate to begin with. And we think that it really aligns well, the non-QM market, that is, with originators where, yes, there are borrowers that frankly did not get served in 20 and 21 because they didn't fit in that neat little credit box. They're still out there. They still need help. And so there's still an awful lot of opportunities for those particular cohorts of borrowers.
See, and I absolutely agree with you here, Evan, because what's really interesting, and I saved this for you. I didn't even I didn't even tell you about this, but we actually got a message after one of our last shows where we had been talking about non-QM. We had a loan officer who was a very high producing loan officer say, yeah, but non-QM are only refinance. And I'm like, what? I was like, and this is why I wanted to bring this up, is because this is a top producer. I'm like, the lack of education, the lack of knowledge about the non-QM, like the opportunity that lies. I'm just like, and I was like, no, that's not the case. And we, again, kind of routed him back to a little more education on it. There's just a lack of information about the non-QM space. Like, that's something that I think is holding us as mortgage professionals. Like you said, 20 and 21, we were so focused on refi. The opportunities were just falling into our laps. But now we have that opportunity. And this is a great little comment here, serving the underserved. We have the opportunity to serve the underserved, whether it's buying or refinancing. So to this whole point, Evan, I just think there's a lack of education, a lack of understanding what actually the non-QM mortgage is and who it actually serves.
Yeah, I mean, I think that clearly if one of the top producers in the country believes that non-QM is specifically geared towards refinances, I mean, that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, today at Champions, we're about 3/4 purchase. And frankly, the product really is more designed for the purchase market. And just to kind of piggyback and build on some of the reasons why in this environment, non-QM is just so vital. I get that, it wasn't even that long ago that when buyers were showing up to bid on homes, it was like the cash buyer that would win the bid, and there's all these kind of cash buyer programs that's become very in vogue. But I look at where we are today, and there's not 15 bids for a home anymore. It's really who can close. And trust me, and anyone that's listening, trust me when I tell you that non-QM borrowers can close. And not only that, they can close quick. So that's the other, I think, a bit of misinformation out there that, well, it's just really hard to do. And, I don't want to burn my realtor relationships by telling them that we can close in 30 days or 25 days or 20 days, but it's really going to take 45 plus days. I mean, we're closing loans in 15 days at Champions. And, I get them talking my own book here a little bit, but I don't think we're the only non-QM lender that's closing non-QM loans with efficiency and certainly comfortably on time before close of escrow. So the misinformation that it's predominantly refinance product, the misinformation that these are really hard loans to get done. I mean, it's really one of the reasons why we have really built operations the way that we've built it, where brokers, loan originators speak directly with underwriters so that if there's any sort of issue whatsoever, it's the person making the credit decision that is cooperating, helping, and hopefully getting to a yes for that borrower. Because Josh, to your point, there is a bit of misinformation out there, and there is a bit of a lack of education out there. And so our underwriters aren't just underwriters, they're educators.
Oh man, that's powerful right there. And that's what it takes right now for a lender to truly, because again, we hear margin compression, we hear rate, we hear this and that. For a lender to be successful, they have to be educated. They have to be willing to go out there and help the LO community, the community that they're serving, be educated on the process, which kind of opens me up to the next question I want to discuss here, because you mentioned something. It's a mindset. If you want to thrive in a market that we're in right now, and again, being that you've been through the ups and downs, through the 08s, through the 09s, through these different ups and downs of our industry, it's a mindset shift. And you nailed it when a lot of, I hear this a lot. Well, these are difficult loans, or this is difficult, or to do this is difficult. That's where is it actually difficult? No, it just takes a little bit of a mindset shift. It takes a little bit of some work on you. We have to stop being afraid of hard work, Evan. We as an industry, that's our job. We get to help people achieve the dream of home ownership. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, are involved in this transaction. So yeah, there should be a little bit of work on our side, getting educated on that. So being that you have been through so much in our industry, how do we start getting that mindset shift, getting out of the 20 and 21 where it was so easy? How do we start getting ourselves to that point of like, hey, you know what? This is going to take a little bit of work, but in the long run, this is going to be absolutely just huge for my business.
Yeah, well, I think people in our industry, they need to make a decision, because over the years I've seen people that get in, they get out. Uh, it's kind of like the stock market. If you think you can time it, you're a fool. You can't time it. So you're either in or you're out. And if you're in, go all in. And you're going to have to work hard, as they say. I mean, the mortgage business, it's not hard, it's just hard work. So I mean, this is not rocket science, but you do have to grind and work hard, especially in environments like this. And this market really presents a unique opportunity, because there's going to be some people, to your point, Josh, evidently they're afraid of hard work. They're going to weed themselves out. They should go find something else to do. If you want to win in this business long term, you have to work hard, you have to be focused, and you have to be committed. And so that means in this market, your opportunity is to stay focused. Your opportunity is to continue to push forward and to position yourself for when things do turn. I don't think anyone is going to say, at least with any honesty or a straight face, that 22 should be your best year ever, or even 23. We don't have a crystal ball, but let's just say, hey, we might be in for another bumpy year next year. Great, no problem. That's what it is. Those are the cards that have been dealt to us. What someone very smart once told me is that if you look at mortgage in a 10-year cycle, 7 years are going to be good to great, and 3 are going to be not so great to almost flat out awful. You just don't know the sequence of those years, but you can pretty much rest assured that 7 of them are going to be pretty good. But you got to get through the 3 that aren't so great, and you better be well positioned going into those good years to fully capitalize. And so that's what we're doing at Champions. That's what we believe originators should be focused on, is pushing through, positioning yourself, and frankly aligning with partners like Champions that can help originators to really be a valuable tool and a trusted advisor to their referral partners. When we talk about hard work, I mean, yeah, it is hard work, but I don't know how hard it is for a borrower that has volatile income, or fits into our credit box. Our flagship product doesn't require any income verification or any employment. So I'm sorry, if you think it's hard to get a loan done without any income or employment verification, you're definitely in the wrong business.
Holy cow, Evan. Guys, go back and listen to that last 2.5 minutes, because here's why I have so much respect for you, Evan, is you just say, like, you speak as it is. There are some of us who just expect deals to fall into our laps. 20 and 21 did a disservice to many of us in the industry, where we're just like, oh, well, now it's hard to get new deals. Yeah, you got to be willing to put in a little bit of hard work. Is the loan process hard? No. You have great partners like Champions who are willing to educate you, who are willing to help you through the process, but you got to go do the work, working with your referral partners, working with your consumers, working with your community to help them, to show them what's available. And I love what you say. I hate saying this. I love all of you out there, our mortgage community, our LO friends. Like, we want to see you thrive, but you have to be willing to put in the work, or you better find someplace else. Because I agree with you, Evan. I think the end of the Q4 that we have coming up, 2023, if somebody is telling you, if you have a letter part saying it's going to be your best year ever, they're lying. Like, let's just call it as it is. These are the time that make or break you. And you've dedicated yourself to this so far. So why not persevere, push through this, find an incredible partner like Champions that's willing to hold your hand, that's willing to that gives you the tools and the resources to absolutely go out and do great things for consumers. Now, dude, you get me fired up, Evan. You get me all excited about this. That's what we do. But I want to talk about something, because you mentioned something that really is critical in all of this. You mentioned team. And I want to hit 2 parts of this real quick. I want to start with you. You have a very, very unique team, an executive team in particular. We've had many. Natalie commented a second ago. We have incredible people like Natalie, Christy, Tim. Like, you have got such an amazing team. Champions as an organization is very mission focused, very mission driven. How important do you think that in particular is when it comes to the success and the future growth of companies like yourselves?
Yeah, well, we touched on it a bit. the last time you and I had
Yeah.
an opportunity to speak. But I think, I'm glad you brought it back up, Josh, because really at the end of the day, being genuine to your core values and your mission is not just vitally important to us, but it should be vitally important to any successful organization or any organization that wants to be successful. And there's a whole host of reasons for that. And when you look at Champions, you look at the company that I'm certainly most intimately familiar with. Our focus is absolutely to help borrowers that unfairly for years and frankly decades have been overlooked, undervalued, and unfairly scrutinized from a credit perspective. And we think that carries through to the team that we have at Champions. So when you look at our executive management team, yeah, it starts with Natalie. She's the best in the business, minority woman. When you look at Patty Arviello, our chairwoman, I mean, I don't think we have to talk a whole lot about all her accomplishments, minority woman. Christy Mindell, the best marketing executive in the business, minority woman. Kimberly Torres, who heads up sales for us, minority woman. Maria, who's our new EVP of people, HR. We have some sort of unique title. I think it's EVP of people. And she's new to the organization. I have been so impressed with Maria. I think she's truly the very best at what she does. And she does a heck of a lot more than HR. Minority woman. It's no mistake. I just think for so many years, when you look at the websites of big mortgage companies, everyone looks the same.
Yeah.
Everyone looks the same. It's almost like they had to kind of like pigeonhole, if you don't look like this, then you're probably not a mortgage executive. And it's BS, and it's a loser mentality. And we just believe that our mission of helping people and then having the best of the best that happen to be reflective of that mission is the winning formula. And so that's what we're doing. And we encourage more companies to kind of look outside of the traditional lens of really who should be sitting in the C-suite and who should have executive positions, because I'll take my team against anyone in the countries and they don't look like me.
Oh man, holy cow. Yet again, so impactful. And just that type of thinking is what we need to see more of throughout. Like I said, for years, Evan, you and I have been in this industry for a long time. We've seen the websites, we've seen the people who have been on stages. We've just seen that it's been those same people in the same box for so long. Now it's time to break out of it. Now it's time. And you and your organization are leading by example. You're not just talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, we need more, we need more women. We need more, ethnic culture. Like, you're actually implementing it. You're doing it. And that is what your team is compromised of. I want to break this into a second part of this question, because you mentioned team. And so often you have an incredible team, an organization that is doing amazing things. But also the second part of that team is the originator community. It's the people that you and your team get to serve every single day, because ultimately that's what you and the Champions team is trying to help all of those originators out there who are trying to serve the underserved. Natalie, I stole that from you, but that's just who you are. So the team, if I'm an originator, and I'm a licensed originator, all you originators listening, how important, Evan, right now is the team, is the lender, the people that you are choosing to work with, and how important is it that they have the resources to help you succeed in the future?
Yeah, I think it's vitally important, and I don't want to sit here and say the Champions is the only lender that can be helpful to the originator community, because
sure,
I think we do what we do incredibly well. There's others that do what they do incredibly well, but I don't think that originators out there, I would hope and expect that any sort of seasoned originator kind of understands the value of that relationship. And certainly at Champions, we really value the relationship, so much so, and having learned from past mistakes, frankly, that we want to continue to think about ways that we can create value for the originator ecosystem and our valued partners. And so, one thing I'd like to this is a little bit of self-promotion here, Josh. I apologize, but one thing that I'd like to tease, because I really do think it's exciting. We're certainly excited about it. We think our broker partners and our originator partners should be very excited about it. The genesis of this is we've had some realtors that have heard about us and they've contacted us directly, and they want to better understand the no income verification, no employment verification loan that we're uniquely able to do. And when we saw those inbound calls come in, and we're not a retail mortgage originator, we're a wholesale mortgage lender. What we quickly realized is that there is an opportunity to market to that community and then give those leads to our broker partners, our originator partners. And so that is something that we believe will be deployed in kind of mid Q4. But without having marketed really at all, we were getting inbound. So I'm very interested and excited to see what happens when we do market. And I'm really excited for our broker and origination partners, because I mean, I don't know if they have other partners that are giving them leads. That's great. I've not heard a lot of other wholesale lenders doing that, but we are going to do that. And we're going to do that in an elegant way that's easy for our partners. And all we ask is, certainly we'd like to be able to close the loan.
Holy cow. Like that in and of itself, that's the partner you're looking for, Evan. Somebody who's actually going to help you build, like giving you those opportunities. And it just goes to show, it shows how much opportunity is in the non-QM space. If you have realtors reaching out to your organization saying, hey, I want to know more about this, all you originators out there, stop saying there's no opportunity. Get out there and get educated yourself and go share this with your realtor partners. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this just gives everybody out there so much more opportunity. And the fact that you and your team, I love that he teased this. That's going to be an upcoming. We got to have more on that discussion. But Evan knows how to get that little tickle in there that y'all are like, oh, what's next? What's Champions working on? Evan, this is always, every time I have you on here, it's always insightful. It's always impactful. You're sharing things with our friends. I like to say that because we are a community. We are friends. We are family. And you're continually, from your team to everything that you're doing, it's all in efforts to continue to better this industry that we have, you especially have dedicated your life to. This has been your career path. This has been your passion. This has been your life. And you continually give back to it. So I personally, from the bottom of my heart, for everybody involved, thank you. You're absolutely, truly, you're inspirational, and all that you do just continue. It drives us and everybody here at Shred to continue to think bigger and to get outside of our box and help others. So thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Well, certainly appreciate you getting the word out and helping to spread the message. And we're awfully proud of the work we're doing at Champions. I know I'm awfully proud of the team I get to go to battle with each and every day. And, we're very proud also of the progress that we've made in a market that certainly is challenging, but we've got a team that continues to push forward every single day. And I think that's really, if there's one takeaway for anyone that may be listening, you have to continue to push forward. This business isn't for everybody. But if you're willing to push forward, we know there's a better day. We know the way this movie goes. We don't know when kind of the chapter turns and when we get to a new and better chapter, but we know it's ahead somewhere, and you got to keep pushing through. Our team does that every day, and we stand ready to partner with good loan originators out there to help them to push forward.
Mic drop. That's it. You heard it right from Evan. They want to help you. Reach out if you guys have questions. If you want to get in touch with Champions Funding and their entire team, drop us a message, send us an email, and we will absolutely get you in touch with them, because as Evan just mentioned, they're focused, they are driven, and they're going to help you continue to succeed. Evan, thank you so much, my friend. Always appreciate it. You are truly brilliant and inspiring. And to all of you listening, as always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.